Hey guys, I told you a while back that I watched General Hospital, and it's starting to get good. Now I know the storylines during the summer sometimes gets really good and intricate and then carries you over to the fall. Well, the biggest storyline right now has to be with Luke's exit. Anthony Geary is retiring and he's moving back to Amsterdam. Now, I don't know if he is going to be leaving the show 100% for good, or if they will bring him back at a later time, or if this is just it for him. I'm not really sure. They've played some very strong and emotional storylines with him over the years, and they played one recently where he was able to unlock his repressed memories growing up, and come to find out that he killed his father, or he killed his mother by accident, and then killed his father when his dad tried to come after him, and that came out. He met his long-lost sister, only to have her die right afterwards, and her daughter has been in Port Charles, Valerie. She's been around the town since all this happened. Well, I thought her endgame was Dante. I thought for sure she was trying to get with Dante because Dante was nice to her and was showing her compassion when her mother had died, and he was, because she was Lulu's cousin, he was showing her compassion like he would any other member of the family. When Lulu was kind of like trying to hold her at arm's length, you know, kind of saying, I love you, but I don't know you, but I still want you to be part of my family, but I don't know you, but we're cool, but I still don't know you, and I'm not really making the effort to make much time to do that. Well, Dante has made a pass at her once, and she left because Luke was... Alright, let's back up a little bit. A while back, Luke had come back after he was released from the mental hospital and deemed fit, and he came back and he was trying to romance Tracy. Well, when they were, he did a trial engagement with her. It was supposed to be like 30 days, and they would keep talking about it every 30 days to see if she still wanted to be, you know, engaged to him again, and then see about them getting married. Well, at their engagement party on the Haunted Star, Laura walks in and says that she needs to go talk to Luke. Well, then she takes Luke back to one of the rooms at the Haunted Star, and unbeknownst to everybody else, Luke comes back out and immediately says, Tracy, I'm sorry I can't marry you. I'm getting back together with Laura. I didn't realize, you know, she said the problem with him was before was a secret, but now that the secret's been unlocked, it takes away everything and they can be together. Well, that wasn't the truth, because come to find out, Laura came to Luke and told Luke that Lucky had been kidnapped and that she needed to break up the engagement, or she needed to get him to come with her to go find him and not to tell anybody. Now, I think it was an attempt to break up the engagement with him and Tracy. Well, they make it to... The kidnappers are supposed to call Laura's phone, and then they get a lead that takes them to British Columbia, Canada, where they wind up at the Triple L Diner. I think it's Triple L Diner. Lucky, Lulu, or Luke, Laura, and Lucky. I guess they used to... It was a boxcar type, or a diner or something. Anyways... While they're there waiting for more information, the door opens and in walks the character of Jennifer Smith. Now, Jennifer Smith has been played by several actresses. Therefore, I called my mother because I wasn't sure. I'm like, if that's Jennifer Smith, that's not the same person that played the role before. And we discovered that there's been several people. Sally Struthers played the role. A couple other people did. That they had somebody to play it. Well, Jennifer Smith comes in and says, you know, if you spend one night with me, Luke, because we were engaged before, because my father, Frank Smith, agreed to let you marry me, and then you would get control of his territory, which, incidentally, I don't know everything that went down, so I can't talk about it I can't tell you about it because I don't know all that happened. All I know is Sonny has Frank Smith's stuff, I believe. So Frank Smith is presumed to be dead, but we all know on soap operas that when you're presumed to be dead does not actually mean that you are dead. Well, Jennifer Smith got Luke to agree. He got all liquored up. They spent the night together. It was basically to consummate the marriage that she was supposed to have with him, that they never actually got married. Well, they wake up the next morning in a drunken haze, and there's several empty bottles laying around, and evidently they never consummated the marriage. Well, they were under the assumption that Jennifer Smith had Lucky. Well, they were wrong, because Jennifer Smith said, I heard from somebody, they told me to do this and to help them with this, and then I could get something out of it. So then they got rid of her. Well, Luke and Laura are in a room in British Columbia, and Lulu and Dillon decide, because they had found out what had happened, that Lucky was missing before Luke and Laura left to go, that they were going to come and assist. So Dante thinks Lulu and Dillon are having an affair. Lulu and Dillon are not having an affair. They went after her parents to help. Well, Dante got a message that Lulu was going to Greece or Paris or England, or I don't know exactly, because her grandmother, Leslie Lou, had fallen and broken her ankle, and Lulu was going to help nurse her back to health. Well, that was not the case. Dante, being a cop and a detective, discovered that she and Dillon were staying in British Columbia, and that there was a hotel room that was charged to Dillon Quartermain's credit card. Well, of course, he wants to go, guns blazing, to go show her up and everything. Well, Valerie comes over and talks to him, and she'd already told him that there was something brewing between Lulu and Dillon, because she was over at the house, or she come to talk to Lulu to clear the air, and saw Lulu and Dillon hugging, saying that they had a secret but they couldn't tell anybody, and it felt bad that they couldn't tell Dante, because if they told Dante, Dante would go after them, which would possibly put her brother in danger, Lucky in danger. Well, now this is going down. Laura did stop in and see Nicholas while she was in town, and Nicholas is, right now, he became a corporate raider and went after ELQ and obtained more than 50% of it, so now he's sitting in the executive CEO's chair, and he thinks that's going to help him, and he's going to acquire it, make so much money for them, and, because his empire is falling, because Helena and, what's his name? Victor were draining the company dry by just different endeavors that weren't panning out, and different stuff, so that they were going cash poor. They had plenty of properties and stuff, but they needed an influx of income. So Nicholas, being as conniving as he's being, went after it. Well, I think Jake Doe, a.k.a. Jason, went to Spencer and said, hey, look, I need you to say something to your dad for me and see if you can help us, because, he took this and it was illegal. And so Spencer gets Rosalie sends her home. So Nicholas comes into work, sees no Rosalie, sees somebody in his chair, turns around at Spencer, and Spencer's angry with him because he wants him to give it back to ELQ, back to the Quartermains, because it belonged to them. Well, Elizabeth knew that Nicholas was going after the company, but Elizabeth's becoming conniving because Elizabeth knows that Jake Doe is in fact Jason, and she's hiding it, and she's in a relationship with him. Well, Sam doesn't know that Jake Doe is Jason. I keep thinking it was going to come out a while back, and it hasn't, so I have low hopes that that storyline's even going to bear fruit or anything. Well, okay, we have that happening. Then let's get back over to Luke and Laura. Well, Luke and Laura are in a hotel room at the same hotel that Lulu and Dillon are in. Well, Lulu and Dillon went to go see Luke and Laura, and they told them to get lost, so they went to their room. Well, they all kind of got the information together and sort of I don't want to say went guns a-blazing, but they all, you know, are trying to figure out a way to get Lucky back. Well, they send them back to their room, and somebody comes into the room. Well, Luke and Laura have their guns, and they're holding it. Here walks Holly. Holly comes in to tell Luke that Ethan, their son, had gotten kidnapped. There's a picture of both Luke and not Luke, Lucky and Ethan. And they're both shackled, or not shackled, but they're both tied up, and they're sitting in a chair in a warehouse somewhere, and they were given a gesture as to where they were being held. They figured out the clue and found out they were in a lumber yard not too far from where they were at. Well, yesterday, Luke had they'd gotten able to distract some guards and get to a room, open the door, and then it goes off. Well, the next day it comes back and Ethan's there, which was yesterday, which was Thursday. Ethan's in the room, but he's standing, and he looks disheveled and everything, and he's standing on a pressure bomb. Basically, if he lifts his foot, he goes kaboom, and he's been standing like that for like 12 hours or more. Well, Luke, he tries to get Luke to leave, and Luke's like, I'm not leaving. He's like, you got more kids, you know, that care about you and love you, you know, go after them, don't worry about me. He's like, you're my son, you're my blood, I love you. And so they dismantle the bomb. Well, they dismantled the bomb. Lulu her and Dillon had pretended like Lulu was pregnant, was in labor, and that they were it was an emergency, they needed to get to the hospital. Well, everything was a ruse, everything came up, and all of them wound up in the same room, except for Lucky, because Lucky had gotten away and took off, although I don't really know if he has. We haven't gotten to that point yet. I suspect that the presumed dead, Frank Smith, is the one that's behind it all. I don't know why. I don't know the reasoning. The only thing I'm thinking right now is because Luke is exiting the show, they are going to bring the old timers back some way or another. I mean, I don't think it was Tony Jones, and I don't think that he would be back because he died. But I think they're bringing back some of the oldies to help kind of shuffle Luke off. I know Ethan was only supposed to be there for a few days, and Lucky's got a few days they're recording, so I don't know if he's just going to be on the air for like 3 days, or if they filmed all the episodes within that 3 days, because when Franco was on there years ago, he would do like a bunch of episodes within a week. I think he had like, I don't want to say 50 in a week, but he did a good amount of episodes. He was just filming, reading as fast as he could. So it's not uncommon that they could do 10 or 15 episodes in a week or more, you know, just to get their parts in. Well, we have that going on. Well, now that Nicholas took ELQ from Michael, you got Michael, who's now been hooked up with Sabrina, which I don't agree with. Sam's with Patrick. And it's an okay relationship, but with Danny, with Danny there and Emma, that's, you know, little ready-made family, but Jason's right there. Jason's right there and doesn't even know it because he's got amnesia. Of course, it's a different actor playing him, but whatever. You have that storyline going on. Let's see. You have Tracy hurt over the Luke stuff, and, you know, she's trying to move past. And you got Ava Jerome, a.k.a. Denise DiMuccio, I guess that's her name, trying to see her daughter, trying to spend time with her as this aunt, while still going after Morgan, who is with Kiki. So, Kiki, the actress they have playing Kiki right now, I'm sorry, I've never warmed up to the girl. I think she's too naive and she'll believe anything you tell her. I think she pretends she doesn't know stuff when stuff's really happening around her. It's just a bad situation to me. I don't care for the actress playing her. I understood, you know, Kristen Alderson left. That's her choice. I never really much liked the character Kiki. I liked her when I liked the actress playing against Michael, because I think they're dating in real life, or were, and Morgan is dating Dr. Britt Westmore. I think that's her name. But you know, both of them are off screen, so they get to play with whoever they're opposite of. But Michael gave Avery, aka AJ, back to Sonny because it was Sonny's kid, and he's having a rough time with that. Well, Denise, Ava, whoever you want to call her, wants to see her daughter, and still trying to say the aunt. But I have a funny feeling that well, Silas already knows it's Ava, and he said he was not going to have a romantic relationship with her just so that she wouldn't have a relationship with Morgan. So she decided Franco needed somebody at one point, so he grabs her to get him away from Nina, who he is in love with, but Nina married Rick, who's a slimeball who's sleeping with her mother, and they're trying to steal her money. So Nina would back off because Nina doesn't believe that Franco would move on past her. But Nina doesn't want to admit that she loves Franco. She signed away her power of attorney, so her money is basically gone unless they can put a stop to it. Rick's being slimy, and yeah, she doesn't know. She suspects that he's her mother's attorney, but doesn't know for sure. Well, let's see what else is going on the show. You have Sam, who's trying to help get ELQ back with the Quartermaines. You have Jason, aka Jake Doe, trying to do that. You have Spencer trying to talk his dad into giving back to ELQ to the Quartermaines. You have Dante, who has made one pass at Valerie and is in the process of getting ready to sleep with Valerie because he went to British Columbia. He left Rocco with his dad, went to British Columbia, found the hotel room and saw all their clothes laying around and breakfast set up, but didn't see them and assumes that they're having an affair even though they're not. Well, he comes back drinking, or he's back at the apartment drinking. Valerie comes over, and I think he's going to get her into bed, and he's going to realize that Lulu wasn't cheating on him, and he's going to feel incredibly guilty. Whether they will, you know, wind up staying together, I would hope they would, but he's going to feel, she's going to feel betrayed, he's going to feel betrayed, it's going to turn into this big mess, and they could possibly get divorced. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if they'll let, you know, level heads prevail and just move forward. I don't know how it's going to end. I know there's going to be fireworks, although this is the 4th of July weekend. You kind of don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. What else? Okay, I don't think Laura's going to stay around much once Luke's gone. I could be wrong. Holly's on there now for a little while. We found, we found, Ethan, but haven't found Lucky yet. Everybody's in the room with Ethan. After they dismantled the bomb, the guards and everything are in the room with Ethan. And he said, we want to see who's holding them, or who's the mastermind. And he says, well, he thinks he wants to talk to you too. The camera veers over to show somebody. They look appalled because they know who the person is and are surprised to see him. Now, if it's not Frank Smith, it could be Mikos Cassadine, which is Helena's husband who was dead. Or it could be Stefan Cassadine, who has been off the show for a while, who hasn't been on there. Stefan Stavros was on a while back. I mean, what else is new there? You would think that if it was Stavros, he would have Lulu more than he would have Lucky and Ethan. So that should play out tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll figure out who it is, and it'll kind of make a little bit more sense. But like I said, I think they're bringing some of the old-timers back to help shuffle Luke off. Anna left a while back to go spread Duke's ashes in, I don't know if it was Ireland or where. I don't think it was Scotland, I think. Somewhere around there. Well, I think she'll be gone for a while. I don't know that we'll see her back on here for a bit. They're pulling a racist storyline with TJ arresting, well, they profiled him at Wyndham's buying Molly a present for her graduation, and then tried to say his card was, you know, probably stolen or fake. Well, they held him until they could, they basically held him in the mall jail, or Wyndham's jail. I think Wyndham's is where it was at. Some fictional, it could be a real store, I don't know. Anyways, and he got into it with the guard and shoved the guard, and the guard, of course, had him arrested. And you know, Dante was trying to be level-headed with it about it. Well, he's out for blood. The shop, or the security guy or whatever. So I guess Sonny got him to drop the charges. I don't know, but TJ spent at least one night in jail, and they got him out and everything. But he didn't want to tell his mom what he had done, and they got Rick involved and a lawyer, and needless to say, the charge was accurate, but he feels like he's been profiled, and they're pulling that storyline. And Sean's since gone. He's went to prison, and the actors left the show. So, I don't really know what they're going to do. Michael gave Avery back to Sonny. Well, that little girl is cute, and I know they have to do some improvisation acting, improv acting when it comes to kids, because you can't always plan what they're going to say or what they're going to do, little babies. So that's kind of cool to watch. But that's my take right now on what's going on General Hospital. I may do another blog again in a couple weeks. I don't want to do it every day because honestly there's some days where nothing's going on. So yeah, I guess I'm starting a series of General Hospital blogs, or at least blogs on something that I think that's interesting. Alright, if you want to hear more, like, fave, subscribe, share. You can email me at meganshepard81@gmail.com. That's MEGANSHEPPARD 81@gmail.com. Or you can send me a message, a comment on here, Megan Shepard 81. Alright, have a good one, guys.